What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and in this video, I'm gonna be giving my prediction for this card's co-main event. Sorry, the UFC. I think it's UFC Austin. Yeah, I think it's Austin, Texas, and the co-main event is Ralph Lauren versus Deiveson Figueiredo making his bantamweight debut. And to be honest, I think Deiveson Figueiredo is gonna get this one. I know he's older. He might be, he's going to have a significant reach disadvantage. I think Ralph Lauren has got some long arms. And the height, I think Figueiredo is like 5'5" or 5'6", and Ralph Lauren's like 5'8" or 5'9". So I think Figueiredo is going to have some problems with that reach early on. And, the weight of those punches, because before in the flyweight division, those guys were really fast. But maybe they didn't have, shots that would sting you like that. Figueiredo was getting stung by shots, with Brandon Moreno, especially, after the first few fights. So I do think that, he could get hurt in this fight at some point. I don't know how his shin's going to hold up, but he does have extra weight to support him. He's not cutting so much weight, because as we know, when you cut too much weight, sometimes, your brain doesn't get rehydrated properly. And it's not going to take much to switch your lights off. But, yeah, Figueiredo has been training with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo has a great strength and conditioning program. He himself bulked up from 125 pounds to 135 pounds. So I believe that Figueiredo is going to look like a bantamweight in there. He's going to be big, strong, and everything. And since he's been working with Cejudo, the last time he worked with Cejudo was the third Moreno fight, and he won that fight. It was a close fight, but he won. He made some really good adjustments in there, and I believe he should have kept Cejudo for the fourth fight, but he didn't. But either way, when he's working with Cejudo, you can tell that he has a much more measured approach. He's a lot more patient. He doesn't just rely on his right hand, and and he's not just wanting to brawl. Now, with Cejudo, he's more of an in and out type of dude, a little bit like Kelvin Gastelum, but a bit more plotty, because he wants to plant and throw that big overhand right. But against Moreno, he showed some really good defensive or some tactics in general to deal with that Moreno jab. In the third fight, I think Moreno landed probably. He had the least amount of success with his jabs out of all their fights. Don't quote me on that. That's not an official stat. It could be, but regardless, Figueiredo had a lot of success when he was moving around, when he was chopping Moreno's legs down, and he was being a lot more measured, and he was able to find his right hand and his power shots a lot more. So I think if he does something like that with Ralph Lauren, someone who's not as fast as Moreno, of course, the timing of Ralph Lauren's jab is probably going to be there. But Figueiredo, he was able to, slip on the inside of Moreno's jab and counter him with an overhand. If he can do that with a guy as fast as Moreno, he can definitely do it with Ralph Lauren. Even after all the damage he took. Not only that, but in that fight, in the third fight with Moreno, he also showed that he can take him down and he can, kind of control him. Moreno has some incredible jiu-jitsu, great scrambles, and I can say this 100%. Ralph Lauren's jiu-jitsu is nowhere near Brandon Moreno's. He doesn't have the level of grappling that Moreno does. He was getting taken down by Corey Sandhagen like it was nothing. Corey Sandhagen was hitting him with some of the most basic takedowns ever, and Ralph Lauren had no takedown defense for that. Obviously, I'm assuming he's been working on it, but he's probably going to be expecting Figueiredo to go out there and try to brawl with him. But Figueiredo, he has that ability. And if he has Cejudo in his corner, he's going to have that voice to tell him, hey, let's not just risk this fight and risk getting KO'd. Let's take the approach that guarantees a victory with the least amount of risk. Essentially, guarantee the victory, take him down, beat him up on the ground. If it works in the second round, do it again. If it works in the third round, do it again. So Figueiredo's got the leg kicks. He's got that right hand, which, Ralph Lauren doesn't have the best chin. And Figueiredo had a lot of power in the flyweight division. Is that power going to translate? We don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But Rafael can't just be... He's not going to be walking through those shots. Like, he's still going to feel the impact of those shots with that speed too. So Rafael's going to have to be careful. And yeah, Figueiredo's got that right hand, like leg kicks. He's got the grappling. He's got a lot of weapons in this fight. If it hits the ground, he can actually submit Rafael. He's got some great jiu-jitsu himself. And Rafael, he's got a really good jab, really good boxing. But there's, like, Rafael, I feel like he's lacking a few weapons. Like, his power is good, but it's not like... I don't think he's going to hurt Figueiredo too much, but I think he will. But my official prediction is Deiveson Figueiredo winning a decision here.